10 years ago, I lost my father to esophageal cancer. A short time later, my mother-in-law passed away with pancreatic cancer. And then 5 years after that, I lost my uncle, who you've heard me talk about many times on this channel, to cancer of his kidneys. Since that time, I've spent a lot of time and dedication trying to raise money for cancer research through the American Cancer Society. When I started this YouTube channel, I wanted to use this as another avenue to raise money for that cause. So I have teamed up with the generosity of JPG McFly, with that Spider-Man booth, and Street Level Heroes LA to try to raise some money. So JPG has created a discount code, STC10. If you go to the Street Level Hero LA website and you make a purchase and you use that code, you'll get 10% off your order, and 25% of your total order will be donated in the SmallTown Collectibles YouTube channel name to the American Cancer Society. So if you want to get some cool comic books or some cool gear, go to that Street Level Hero LA website, use the promo code STC10, and help raise some money and make a difference in the fight against cancer. Today, we're going to talk about the first appearances and key issues for the greatest day of the week, New Comic Book Day, February 10th, 2021. We got a lot of books on the list this week, so let's get started. I'm Jimmy Don Kerr, and this is the SmallTown Collectibles YouTube channel. So before I get into the first appearances and key issues this week, of course, guys, I want to ask you to hit that subscription button, turn on that notification bell so that you get notified when I put out new content. If you like the list this week, hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment below and let me know if there's any books I'm missing or if you're looking at some of the same books that I've got on the list this week. We're going to start with our independents this week. First on the list from Image Comics is Haha #1, second print. Haha #1 was a big book when it first came out. And of course, they ordered a second print. And so you got that one coming out this week. Kind of a cool black and white looking cover. Definitely one I'm probably going to try to pick up. Next on the list from Image is Radiant Black #1. The synopsis says a loser's fortunes are about to change after he finds the cosmic radiant if he can fend off the rightful owners. This book is written by Kyle Higgins and illustrated, and cover A is by Michael Cho. You've also got several variants for this. You've got a variant cover by Johnny Montez. That's a 1 in 50 variant. You've got the cover B by Marcelo Costa. You also have a store exclusive variant. Another variant cover by Marcelo Costa. The 1 in 25 by David Finch. And then a 1 in 10 by Marcelo Costa as well. So looks to be a pretty hot book this week. I'm definitely going to pick this one up, and I'll probably grab a few of the covers, the variant covers as well. I put up pictures of all of them for you so you can see them, so you can grab the ones that you want. Next up on our list is Scout Comics. Scout, as you know, guys know, is one of my favorite publishers. I usually dig the books that they put out, and they've got a couple of good ones this week. First one up is Black Cotton #1, and the synopsis reads, in an alternate reality where the social order of white and black is reversed, an elitist family, the Cottons, are rocked by a tragic shooting that begins to unravel long-standing family secrets that could not only destroy the family, but also divide the fragile social climate of the world. I like the way that sounds. Definitely one I'm going to pick up. Next up from Scout, you've got Recount #1, the second print. This is a book that I actually got in one of my Scout comic mystery boxes, the monthly subscription box, and I read it, and it is fantastic. It is the conspiracy theory type book. It's a book that kind of really speaks to me, and one I think that, you know, kind of the Scout comic books that I really like, the Recount #1 is definitely that. So if you haven't picked that up, pick it up and give it a read. But you do have the second print coming out this week. Also from Scout, you have the White Ash Presents Galarian #1. And this is an anthology of stories exploring the romantic, bloody history of Galarian, the most dangerous elf in the 9 realms. This is written by Charlie Stickney, and the cover A is by Romina Morinelli. And then you also have a variant cover by Carla Cohen, limited to 100 copies. And it's the premier variant in the Scout Comics monthly metal program that releases as a limited web store exclusive. And you can pick that up at scoutcomics.com. From Boom this week, we've got Mighty Morphin number 4. This is written by Ryan Parrott and illustrated by Inhuck Lee. And you've possibly got an identity reveal of the Green Ranger. I'm not a Mighty Morphin fan, but I might want to know who the Green Ranger is. And if you do, check out Mighty Morphin number 4 this week from Boom Studios. So next up on our list is from Dynamite, and this is the same book, 2 different issues, and the cover art is what attracted me to these books. I'm kind of realizing that I'm becoming a Lucio Perillo fan, and that's Deja Thoris number 10 and Deja Thoris number 11. They're just 2 absolutely gorgeous covers by Perillo for these books. And if my comic shop brings them in, I'm going to pick them up. And I almost bet this is one that my boy Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy, will be grabbing. I know he's a big Perillo fan. And if you're not following Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy, go check him out. He does a lot of the Savage characters, Conan, Red Sonja. Also, a lot of the female characters, the strong female characters in Marvel, he digs. So go over and check Gary's channel out. Next up, from Hyperspace, you've got Star Wars Insider Magazine number 200. And I'm pretty sure I put this on my list last week on accident. But you've got the cover art by Peach Momoko. And then this is part 2 of the short story Starlight Go Together. Next up on our list is from IDW, and that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 114. In this book, Jenica comes face to face with Kari, a person who almost killed her and indirectly caused her to mutate into a turtle. You also get a cover appearance by Toka and Razar. This book is written and the cover is by Sophie Campbell. And you also have a really cool variant cover. It's a 1 in 10 by Jesus Hervas. So check out Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 114 if that's a book you're into. And the last book from our independents is a facsimile, and it comes from Atlas, and it's Black Knight number 1. The facsimile, it's a reprint of the 1955 introduction of Sir Percy, the first Black Knight. I don't know anything about this book, but I saw it in any of the facsimiles of these older books. I usually pick them up just to read them, just to kind of get an idea of what it is. So I'll probably grab this one if my LCS has it. Next up, we've got our books from DC Comics this week. Of course, very future state heavy as some of those stories and titles wrap up. But the first one, we do have a Valentine's Day special, and that's DC Love is a Battlefield number 1. And I believe this book has a $10 price tag on it, but it does have a pretty cool cover with Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy on the front. I doubt I picked this one up, but I wanted to throw it on the list here just in case you're looking for something for your girlfriend who's a comic book lover. So DC Love is a Battlefield number 1 is the Valentine's Day special from DC this week. Now, getting into our Future State books, we've got Future State Dark Detective number 3. That's written by Mariako Tamaki. The cover A is by Dan Mora, and this is the meeting of Bruce Wayne and the new detective. And then most of these books have had backup stories, and this one has the backup story teaming Luke Fox and the Grifter. You also have a variant cover on this one by Lee Bermejo. Next up from DC is the Future State Green Lantern number 2. This one is written by Jeffrey Thorne, and you've got a cover A by Clayton Henry. In this book, John Stewart takes on the Kund cult. And then you've got 2 backup stories in this one featuring Teen Lantern with Mogo and Hal Jordan with Oliver Queen. And then you've got a variant cover on this one by Jamal Campbell. The variant cover on this one is probably one of my favorites this week. I don't know. I just dig the way that book looks. And again, it's another one of those. I probably wouldn't pick this up otherwise, but this one may just be a cover buy for me. Next up, we've got Future State Justice League number 2, and this one is written by Joshua Williamson, and you got your cover A by Dan Mora. This is the conclusion of a 2-issue limited series featuring the Justice League exiled to a distant planet, and then you've got your backup story in this one featuring Justice League Dark versus Mad Merlin and his Knights. You also have a pretty cool variant cover on this one, which I dig, by Cal Nagu, and I know I'm saying that wrong, and you can bash me in the comments for it, but it's Kael, and then NGU. I dig a lot of his covers, but yeah, that cover B on this one is pretty sweet and one I'll probably grab. Next, we've got Future State Kara Zor-El, Superwoman number 2. This one's written by Marguerite Bennett and illustrated, and the cover A is by Paulina Gonchu. This is, again, a conclusion of a 2-issue limited series, and you've got your variant cover on this one by Alex Garner, another really sweet cover B that if I buy will be strictly for the cover purchase. Next up, you've got Future State Robin Eternal number 2. This book is written by Megan Fitzmartin and illustrated by Emanuela Lopaccio. It's the conclusion, again, of a 2-issue limited series that features Tim Drake resurrected from the Lazarus resin. And then in this one, you got your backup story featuring Spoiler versus the Peacekeeper. On this one, you have a variant cover. This one's not my favorite, but I wanted to throw it up here anyway. Variant cover art by Daniel Warren Johnson. Next up, we've got Future State Superman Wonder Woman number 2. This one is written by Dan Waters and illustrated by Lee Weeks. And again, another conclusion to a 2-issue limited series. And then you do have a pretty nice variant cover on this one that's by Terry and Rachel Dodson. And again, of all these books, these Future State books this week, I'm really digging the cover Bs on these. And if I purchase these, it'll be strictly cover buys. And the last of the Future State books this week, as far as the current run, is Future State Teen Titans number 2. And this one is written by Tim Sheridan and illustrated by Rafa Sandoval. In this one, it features the Future State Teen Titans, Nightwing, Raven, Crush, Starfire, Psybeast, Red X, and Red Arrow. And then you have an absolutely sweet, again, in my opinion, cover B by Dustin Nguyen featuring Red X. I think it is fire, and I will 100% buy that cover if I see it. Now, again, you may not dig it, but for me, it really spoke to me, and it's one I'm definitely going to pick up. And then finishing up our DC this week, the very first Future State Teen Titans number 1 was a really, really hot book. And the second print of that book comes out this week. So that's one, if you're into buying the second and third prints of books and those as variants, that Future State Teen Titans number 1 will be out this week, and one that you can pick up at your LCS. All right, now let's jump into Marvel. Got a lot of books from Marvel this week as well. You have a ton of the King in Black tie-ins, and so we'll start with the first one from Marvel, the King in Black number 1 second print. You've got a really nice cover by Ryan Stegman. And of course, the King in Black series has been hot, and the second print, I'm sure, will be very popular at the stores tomorrow. So the first of our King in Black tie-ins is one of my favorite books, and I personally think one of the most underrated books and maybe the best book written by Marvel right now, and that's Daredevil number 27. Of course, that's written by Chip Zdarsky, and the cover A on this one is by Marco Checchetto. And of course, it's a King in Black tie-in. Now, I didn't read the last one. I generally save these up and read them all at one time. So I'm looking forward to jumping in and seeing how the Daredevil ties into the King in Black. All right, next King in Black tie-in is the Fantastic Four number 29, written by Dan Slott and cover A by Mark Brooks. The solicitation in this one says, the unseen, Nick Fury is putting together a squadron for a secret mission into deep space. So I don't know. If that sounds interesting to you, pick up Fantastic Four number 29. Next up, King in Black tie-in, King in Black Black Panther number 1, written by Geoffrey Thorne and illustrated by Lanil Francis Yu. Probably one I'm going to pass on. I don't generally pick up a lot of these tie-ins, and I don't necessarily read Black Panther, so I'll probably pass on that. But if you are into Black Panther and the whole King in Black and buying all the tie-ins, then King in Black Panther number 1 might be for you. That is a tongue twister. Say that 5 times fast. King in Black Panther number 1. I can't do it. Our next tie-in is the King in Black Thunderbolts number 2, written by Matthew Rosenberg and illustrated by Kyle Holtz. Again, another book I'm probably not going to pick up, but I'm going to throw it out here for you guys who are reading the tie-ins. The next one is Sword number 3, another King in Black tie-in, and it says that Protocol V is in effect. This one is written by Al Ewing and illustrated in the cover A by Valero Chatti. I like Al Ewing. I didn't know he was writing this, to be honest with you, and I might pick it up and just check it out. I may grab number 1 and read through it. I'm a big Al Ewing fan, his work on the Immortal Hulk. So sword number 3 out this week. Jumping out of our King in Black tie-ins, we've got Amazing Spider-Man number 59, of course, written by Nick Spencer, and your cover A is by Mark Bagley. The solicitation reads, Mr. Negative is back and wants only one thing, Martin Lee. But how's that possible? Because Mr. Negative is Martin Lee. I don't know. We'll have to read it and find out. But you also have a cool 1 in 25 cover that I dig, kind of a white background with Spidey in the front, by Marcelo Ferreira. So Amazing Spider-Man number 59. I've been reading the series. I'm not a big fan of Spencer's work on this run, but I still pick it up every week. So if you're like me, Amazing Spider-Man number 59 is out tomorrow. Next up, there's an Eternals number 2 out this week, and again, probably not one I'm going to pick up and read, but there was a couple of cool variants. There's a 1 in 10 variant by Saad Rabiq, and also a 1 in 25 by Phil Jimenez that I thought were kind of cool and wanted to share with you guys as maybe a book if you're into the Eternals that you might want to pick up. We've got a new Morbius book this week. It's Morbius Bond of Blood number 1, and then this is written by Ralph Macchio and illustrated, and the cover A is by Giuseppe Comunicoli. Morbius faces a ghost from his past, his first kill. So if you're a Morbius fan, it's not really my cup of tea necessarily, but if you're a Morbius fan, you've got a new title out this week for you to grab and check out. And then you've got a couple of books from the hottest title going, I guess. Everything Star Wars right now seems to be on fire. And you've got Star Wars Darth Vader number 10 coming out this week. It's written by Greg Pak, and the cover A is by Aaron Cooter. This is the introduction of Exegol in comics, a desert planet that Darth Sidious chose as his base of power. I love the cover on this one. I'm definitely going to grab it. I'm a sucker for a red cover. And you've got this just red cover, almost looks kind of like a sandstorm, but it's red, and you got Darth Vader in the middle of it. I don't know. I think it's dope looking, so I'm probably going to grab it. And then you've got Star Wars The High Republic number 1, which has been a hot title. You've got the 3rd print coming out this week, and that cover is by Ario Anadito. So if you're into collecting the multiple prints of these as a variant, then Star Wars The High Republic number 1 is out this week. And then the last 2 books on our list, one is a variant cover. It's the Taskmaster number 3 variant. It's the 1 in 25 by Alan Davis. Just again, it's got a red background. And as I said on the Darth Vader cover, I'm a sucker for a red background. And then it's just sweet looking. I don't know. Like I said, I pop it up here on the screen so you can check it out, but I just dig it. Simple as that. It stands out to me as I was looking through all the covers and all the books that are coming out this week. I love this, and it's probably one of my favorite covers, actually. That and the Perillo cover. I dig those Perillo covers, but this Taskmaster number 3 variant by Alan Davis is pretty sweet. And the final book on our list this week from Marvel is Wolverine Black, White, and Blood number 3. Now, of course, you've got various writers writing different stories in this, and the cover A on this one is by Jorge Fornes. You also have a very cool a very cool 1 in 25 variant by Torian Clark. And in this book, Wolverine takes on the Cosmic Ghost Rider. So that sounds pretty fun. Maybe one that I will pick up. I've enjoyed the first 2. I read them. I'm not generally a Wolverine guy. I actually got the books in a Boxed Heroes box. And so I read them and kind of digged it. So I'm probably going to pick up this one and check it out. So, guys, that's our list for this week of the key issues and first appearances for this week. New Comic Book Day, February the 10th, 2021. I hope you found something informative from this list and it helps you make some of your selections on New Comic Book Day this Wednesday. As always, guys, I appreciate the support. I'm on my push for 500 subs. We're getting there. I seem to gain a few subs every day. Really appreciate the support. And then at the beginning of this video, you saw just a kind of little of a commercial hooked up with JPG McFly. and Street Level Hero LA to offer a discount code STC10, where if you go to Street Level Hero LA and make a purchase and use that code, you can get 10% off your order. But most importantly, Street Level Hero LA will donate 25% of your total order to the American Cancer Society for cancer research. And so that's a very important cause for me. And I hope you'll take the opportunity to take that code, go over and pick you up something cool from Street Level Hero LA. Guys, remember, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And as always in these things, until next time.